This holidays, I want to give you one of the best gifts that one can give another person, and that is the gift of perspective. So, I know Christmas time, holiday time, Hanukkah time, whatever it is for you time, can be very exciting, and fair enough, that's great. All excitement to you, power to you, my friend. Um, but let's not forget the bigger picture of life, and not only live for certain times of the year, whether it be your Christmas or your birthday or the weekend or your vacation or whatever. But let's try and carry, shall we say, the miracle of Christmas and the holidays into every single day of your life. Every day can be your birthday and Christmas, metaphorically, feeling wise speaking. So, the perspective I want to give you today on this very fateful day is that if you're only living for the weekends, for example, right, to give a more, I guess, relatable example, if your Monday to Friday sucks, you hate your job, you hate your life, whatever, and then it's finally the weekend, now you have some sort of relief, some sort of reprieve from your everyday life, and then you go back to it, then it's like, well, most of your life you're gonna be spending on things you don't really want to enjoy, and it's like, well, if you can only celebrate and be happy on Christmas or Halloween or on your birthday, then what about the rest of the year? Make sure that on a consistent, like, everyday basis, that you are creating a life for yourself that is just like baseline level pretty good. Or like, what does a more ideal life look like for me? And what do I need to do in order to move myself into that direction, so that I'm not only living for certain days of the year where I can feel happy and feel good, but instead transition into a life where you just generally feel pretty good. And then sometimes, like, your birthday or Christmas comes along and it's like a bonus, to your already steadfast foundation of feeling pretty good. Then I think that's like really good, right? There's this whole concept called ikigai that I'm sure a lot of you might have heard of, and it's a Japanese concept that kind of just it's a way to kind of like create your life. So in ikigai, it's like you want to find something to do. It's like I think it literally translates to a reason for being, right? So it's like you want to find something in your life where it's like it's something that you're good at, something you love, something that you can get paid for, and something that the world needs, right? And I think, if anything, they really should be kind of like nailing this into your head when you're at school, as opposed to other things, so that you have a better mindset for how to steer your life. And this could, be a lifelong process. It's not necessarily something you might just figure out in a day, but you could maybe figure out in a day. Get a piece of paper out, or go on your computer and or your phone, and just write down a list of everything that you love, and then everything that you feel like you're good at, and then everything that you feel like you could get paid for, or that you feel like people often get paid for, right? And then write down a list of things that you feel like the world needs, from your perspective, right? Everything is from your perspective, all of these things, and then see if you can link things together in a way that that creates a job, out of something. So there was an example. I was watching a video earlier, and yeah, there was someone that really likes photography and, like, doing designs and stuff, and that's what they love. That's what they're good at. And there's but they also really like the outdoors. So the guy was saying, like, why don't you create, like, designs and photography, or like content for an outdoor company, and maybe that outdoor company is doing something that is actually really beneficial for the world. They're promoting nature and stuff like that, and it's like yeah, it helps you appreciate nature more, and like it's good for the environment and stuff like that. If you want to spin it that way, then it's like, sure, it ticks all the boxes. So for yourself, like, this is not meant to be an ikigai spiel, but for yourself, it's like, well, how can you structure your life? How can you steer yourself in a way in your life where every single day just feels generally pretty good and you're pretty happy with what you have? And I feel like using the ikigai framework is actually a really good way to find, at the very least, a semblance of the direction you should be going towards. There's this quote from Einstein that I really like, and it's there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. You know, you don't need to wake up every day and like start like beaming rainbows out of your face, right? And be like, oh my god, everything's a miracle. But you know, at the same time, I think it do you good to appreciate the life you have. Um, and it's like if your life is miserable most of the times, and then certain times you feel like is really good, then it's like, well, think about how you can steer yourself towards a life where foundationally it's like at least semi miraculous, you know, and then try and increase that baseline miraculousness as high as you can gradually through time, one step at a time. So on this day, for the rest of the year and next year and the rest of your life, I wish upon you a life where every day feels like, if only a little, that it's your birthday, that it's Christmas, that you have something worth celebrating for, that you're grateful for, that you cherish. And that is the gift I want to give you today. So